at black masses. Evil minds that plot destruction.
Hi, my name is David Scott. I'm a psychologist and I'm about to initiate my second semester in the Masters of Psychology. War is a racket. It always has been. It is possibly the oldest, easily the most profitable, surely the most vicious. It is the only one international in scope. It is the only one in which the profits are reckoned in dollars and the losses in lives. These are the words of the Major General Smedley Butler, one of the most colorful officers in the Marine Corps' long history, was one of the 2 Marines who received 2 Medals of Honor for separate acts of outstanding heroism in the US. War Pigs, the opening track from Black Sabbath's song debut album Paranoid in 1970, is generally considered the best heavy metal anti-war song ever recorded. It was written at a time of heightened tension on both sides of the Atlantic. US forces had escalated their commitment in Vietnam, and since 1964, when demonstrations against military engagement had begun, the anti-war movement had grown into a broad social movement comprising mainly of students, mothers, or anti-establishment hippies. As the decade was drawing to a close, opposition grew with participation by the African American civil rights, women's liberation, and Chicano movements and sectors of organized labor. This movement informed and helped shape the vigorous and polarizing debate, primarily in the United States, and their actions consisted mainly of peaceful, non-violent events. Police, however, in some cases, used violent tactics against peaceful demonstrators, sparking further outrage. As early as 1967, according to Gallup polls, an increasing majority of Americans considered US military involvement in Vietnam to be a complete mistake. If America's soul becomes totally poisoned, said Martin Luther King in 1967, part of the autopsy must read Vietnam. In the UK, the shock waves of the Vietnam conflict were being felt. While Prime Minister Harold Wilson's Labour government from 1964 to 1970 morally supported the US ally in its fight against communism, the UK refused to send forces, placing a strain on the so-called spatial relationship between the two countries. Nevertheless, in British popular culture, the government's refusal to commit troops did not go far enough. In November 1969, John Lennon publicly returned his MBE to the Queen. That's right, John Lennon himself, calling a press conference where he said, "I'm returning my MBE as a protest against Britain's involvement in a Nigerian Biafra thing, against our support of America in Vietnam and against cold turkey. Sleeping down the charts with love, John Lennon." In the UK too, war was very much in the public consciousness. Hence, as the whole structure of the song suggests, it gathers a vivid voice of rebellion against war. It triggers a critical analysis against the averted power enforced by politicians in conflicts not even from their own, always trying to hide themselves away. The song is the discursive expression of unity and justice of a generation not randomly selected, but with an embedded sense of social transformation in the 70s. Simple civilians and citizens of the world standing together against war wherever it strikes. Into this came the British band Black Sabbath.